Israel is looking toward a new era in the Middle East, with President-elect Trump vowing his support for the country and a stronger stance against Iran's terrorism and nuclear advances. We've also seen a shift with more pro-Israel Democrats like Senator Jackie Rosen, who just joined the Senate Foreign Relations Committee after narrowly winning re-election in Nevada. And now Hollywood actors are being more vocal in their support for Israel's right to self-defense, including our next guest, Robert Davi, who also became a spokesperson for the Shiloh Israel Children's Fund, a foundation that helps to rehabilitate children traumatized by terrorism. Good morning to you, sir. Good to see you.
Good morning, Jan. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, this is a long way from your roles in Die Hard, Goonies, James Bond movies. What first inspired you to get involved with the Israeli cause, and how was your view of the situation? How has it evolved over the past few years?
Well, Jan, unlike a lot of Hollywood, I've always been pro-Israeli. Since the mid-1990s, or even before that in the 80s, I played a Palestinian in a film called Terrorist on Trial, 1988, the United States of America versus Salim Ajmi. And I got a very strong education at that time about the Middle East. I went to the Syrian Council. I talked to PLO members. I talked to the Israeli Council and the Museum of Tolerance. And we grew up. My first wife was Jewish when I was still in college. And being Catholic, I always felt that the Jewish traditions were part of Christ's journey. So I never was estranged from the idea of Judaism or Israel. Then I had a mentor called David Horowitz, one of the great conservative thinkers, who was a communist, and his family were communists, and he wrote a book called Radical Son, His Transition. And he wrote a book called Unholy Alliance. About radical Islam and the American left. And also Oriana Fallaci wrote a book called The Force of Reason, warning the West of what was going to happen. So I've always been pro-Israeli. I'm pro-humanity overall. But I understand the conflict in that region. I've been to the region. I spoke to King Hussein in 1994, wanting to create a creative arts center for Jews and Arabs, where they learned the arts and work together. And I recently did a film called Barrio, where I played an Orthodox Jew. Here I am, a Catholic, playing an Orthodox Jew. But I've always been, and America has to be strong for Israel.
And Israelis and Arabs, as we know, can work and live together. As we know, millions of Arabs currently live in Israel. I'm curious, with the political shift in the United States, there's talk of Israel's relations with the U.S. changing under the second Trump term. What do you think that could mean for Israel's security and its position on the world stage?
Well, I think overall it's great for the world's security. You know, as you see what's happening, regimes are toppling. Trudeau is resigning. People that are against freedom and against democracy are crumbling. You have this new world order because Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Elon Musk and Bobby Kennedy Jr., the team he's put together is coming in, and it's going to be tremendous for Bibi Netanyahu and all of Israel, because there's no equivocating that when Obama came in and gave those billions of dollars to Iran and John Kerry, and they kowed to Iran, this conflict got much more difficult. Jen, my question to the world is, and I've been to the Arab countries, I know them, and they're cousins to all of us. What I don't understand is, with all the Arab money, all the money in the world, you can create out of the desert and the site, and they can create wonderful things in Dubai and other places. Why is the Gaza Strip, that beautiful plan, how come it's been kept down? How come Arafat didn't agree with the plan where he had 98% of what he wanted when he met with Clinton? And then he made a phone call 5 minutes later and said, no deal. Why has the Gaza Strip been used as this? And the Palestinian people, they should be revolting against the Arab countries for not taking care of them, because that region could be beautiful. It could be absolutely beautiful.
The current administration under President Biden has been criticized for its approach to Israel and also what's happened in the Gaza Strip. From your perspective, how has Israel been affected by this, and what changes would you like to see under a future Trump administration?
Well, of course, I'd like to see, and I said this, I did a Washington scene, the Hill, and I said this to Obama, and Trump understands this. Look, Trump had the Abraham Accord.
Yeah. Saudi
Arabia and Israel putting together to work together. Do you realize what that would do for the Middle East, for all the Middle East? And that I remember that moment. It was triumphant. The Arab and Trump in America working with Israel. That's what's going to happen. More of that is going to happen. And this, I think the radical Islamic fundamental aspect of, El-Sisi. I don't know if you know this. El-Sisi, in a Coptic Christian church in 2012, Jan, El-Sisi said that he wanted Islam needs to have a reformation. He put his hand out to the world. Obama was president, and he didn't grasp that hand and call for a summit, and so did the king of Jordan and other people, Morocco. They wanted to talk about how can we bring Islam into the 21st century and the future. He missed an opportunity. Trump is there. He did it with the Abraham Accords, and I think that's going to go further and further and further.
Spokesman for the Shiloh Israel Children's Fund, Robert Davi, you can hear your passion and your support for the Israeli people. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And please watch the film Body Up and support the Israeli Children's, IsraeliChildren.org. It's creative arts for children to help them rehabilitate from post-traumatic stress and other issues.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jan.